afternoon, and welcome to Truth Talk. It's been a minute since we've gotten together. We've got lots of things going on. We've been grateful to get back to our regular church services. We are all now back to doing Sunday school and Sunday morning service, Wednesday night service, Sunday night service. So all of our regular programs are back on game, so to speak. And so we have taken some time away from Truth Talk, but we had some really great ideas about where to go with this concept of family. And we had two great discussions about that already. And we wanted to as a reminder for that, it might have been just a few minutes since you've heard us talk about family. In the day and time that we live in, family has become a word that means, family meant mom, dad, siblings, extended family, and everything. And today, family means so much more than that. And I think we agreed that maybe God's ideal of family has kind of drifted away from what the world sees family as. And as done by the actions of us as human beings. And so how do we get back to getting towards that family ideal? So we have invited some guests for the next couple episodes. And tonight's first guest is Miss Luana Bevel. And what is your title? I don't even know what we call the Pregnancy Center director. Is it director?
Yes, Director of Client Services.
Director of Client Services for the Alpha Pregnancy Center, which has several locations throughout Southwest Georgia.
Right.
And we are lucky to have one here in Sylvester servicing the community in which our churches, Antioch and Isabella, operate in. So we want to talk about family and the creation of family that begins with the services that are found at the Alpha Pregnancy Center. So with that being said, do you want to tell us anything about current operations, like how y'all, what days you're open, when you have people there, and a little bit of the services that you are offering in Sylvester?
Okay. Yes, we are open. We abbreviated our hours due to COVID, but we're open on Tuesdays and Thursdays like we've always been. Tuesdays we're there from 1 to 4, and Thursdays we're open from 10 to 1. And we still provide the services that we provided prior to COVID. So we're still doing free pregnancy tests. We can do verification of pregnancy for those needing that for insurance purposes. And we do free ultrasounds. And we're also still providing the parenting classes. Now the classes, we have offered two options. Patients can now come into the center to do the classes, but they can also do the classes virtually. And we have found that a lot of our patients have taken advantage of the virtual aspect of it. I think it's convenient, especially with moms of young, small infants, or moms of multiple children, or even working mom. We have a few working moms. So that just fits into their schedule. So that's what we're pretty much offering, the same thing. We just kind of tweaked it a little bit and are doing it a little differently.
It's amazing how COVID has made us rethink the way in which we offer services.
Right.
We put so much emphasis on, well, you need to be here. You need to be in here in front of us.
Right.
But, virtual experiences you can get just as much from if you're willing to put in the same amount of work that being in person says. And you're like, if you have moms with multiple children or trying to work and have an infant at home or something, to be able to do something virtually, so you don't have to find a sitter.
After they put the children to bed, they can sit and quietly be able to watch a lesson and really get more from it than if they're, trying to. Right.
Right.
Ms. Luana, would you also explain the baby store concept and let people know that about the supply, the other things that we offer there, as far as the supplies, the point system, and how they can get supplies that they need for their family, their babies, and things like that.
Yes. So with the classes that I was just speaking about, the virtual aspect, and then you can come in as well. Well, those classes you earn points, and the points that you earn, you're able to go and shop in the baby store, and the baby store is supplied or stocked with basically all baby supplies that you need, except for furniture. We don't have furniture, but we do have diapers, wipes, hygiene products. We also don't stock food because I know that the WIC department, they can handle that aspect of it. So we don't have formula, but we do have everything else that parents can use. And basically what you do is that those points that you earn, you use those points to purchase items out of the baby store. And really the way we have it set up is you can take a class, one class can really get you can purchase 2 packs of diapers and a pack of wipes. So the points aren't like
they're not astronomical.
Right.
Like it's set up to where when you come in or when you take a weekly class, you can leave with a week's worth of products that you would need to get you through that time.
Exactly.
And I know, like, from working with you, and clients are able to accumulate those points that in the beginning when they're early in pregnancy and not really needing or not necessarily prepared to start stocking up on putting those diapers away or things like that, that those points just continue to bank and grow, so that once baby does get here, or once they find out the gender of their baby, they're able to then come in and start stocking up or getting what they need at that time. And
Yes.
it's a highlight to watch parents, moms and dads. I've had several in the center that have been couples that come together, and that's a blessing to be able to minister to them, because I know a lot of people do think that this is a single mom kind of ministry, and it's really not. I have seen even myself that there are dads, whether the couple is married or whether they're just choosing to parent together, that really want to be involved, and we praise them and we encourage them, and we make them just as much a part of it as possible as mom, and they get just as excited coming in there sometimes to get things
to kind of piggyback on what Lainey is saying. We actually, and this is just to brag on our center here in Worth County, we have had the highest number of couple participation of male, and these are like married couples that are coming, and for whatever the circumstances are, they're there, whether they need extra help with parenting or extra help with just the baby support, whatever the need is, they're there with us. So we are very grateful that the Lord has sent them to us, and we're able to minister to them and help them at their point of need. So
because they see that it is, God did intend for this to be a mother and a father, and that for a child to grow and to I feel like fully get what they need those different perspectives. They need the perspective of the father. They need the perspective of the mother. And I know just even, raising our own children, our kids know what they need to go to dad for, and they know what they need to come to mom for, and they see that, and so it's such a blessing to be able to see that, however they're choosing to try to grow their family, that if they need that support from us, we're there to give it to them, and for them to find value and importance in both of their roles in this child's life.
What is the goal behind the point system, rather than just saying, here, you need clothing for the baby or you need diapers? What's the goal? Why do we have a point system set up that they have to earn something?
Well, it gives them
accountability.
Yeah, and it gives them something to work towards. I think and in a lot of places, charities, you just go and you just get. And whereas with us, we not only just want to help them with their physical need, but we want to have that opportunity to help them with the spiritual need as well. And so those classes are designed to do that. And we just have that point system just to kind of give them an incentive so that they will come back, because if they have something they're working toward, we have them come in and they can listen to what we have to say. So not only are we giving them a class about how to respond to their baby's the cries of their baby, but how do you do that and give them spiritual aspects of that as well. So
It gives them choice too.
yeah.
And to try to, not just say, here, you've earned a pack of diapers and, 2 packs of diapers and wipes for the week, and you go on your way. It gives them an option, a choice to decide what works for them as a family, or what they feel like their baby needs at that time. And when you have really young couples, or either a young new parent in the center, they don't, we've seen it happen several times. The girls find out what they're having, and they get, if it's a girl or if it's a boy, and they get real excited, and they want to just go spend all their points on the cute little clothes and things like that. And, and it gives us an opportunity to say, wait, now let's think about this thing. You need to start remembering that you got to stock up on the things that you need. Spend some of your points on the things that you want, and some of the things on the things that you need.
Building
It's just
that
starting to build,
responsibility.
right? It builds that
It
responsibility and changes that mentality of, this is not just something that's cute and fun, that I've got to really start thinking ahead for my child.
And then we have some patients too who, I know this is hard to believe, but they don't really want a handout. They want to earn it. They want to work, and they want to do something so that they feel like they have earned what we're offering
Sense of
to
accomplishment.
the
That's why I was about to just say the same thing.
Right.
We live in a society now where we think people always want a handout, but there's a lot of people that just have that self-desire inside of them. No, I don't want a hand. I want to work for it.
Right.
And so many of our couples are so giving in return. I mean, I know we've seen where when they are able to give something back to the center, when they're able to redonate clothes or items that people have given to them that they don't need, like diapers and packs that didn't get opened or something, they enjoy and they get a lot of blessing out of being able to bless the center back with what they've been blessed with.
I think also it offers that legitimacy to the ministry that we're offering, that if somebody thinks they can just walk up and get something for nothing, then what
What's
does
the
that say
value in
about what we believe in? But if we say we believe in a ministry that not of works, but that works, and so you have to be prepared to work as a parent too. And this is the way you can grow into that. If it's your first time or if it's your third time, it's a way you can grow into that, so that we're not seeing it's not charity, and that we're not trying to. It's authenticity.
It's a
I think,
support
which
system.
is so missing, and that's what people are looking for: authentic relationships and authentic help. Not here we're giving out. Not that helping is bad, but that you can tell when someone's
I don't want to
doing
just
it
give
for
you
the right
something.
reason.
I want to put something into your life. I want
right.
to put something into your soul. I want to be a part, and it does become that, especially with the virtual situation. It may be a little bit different, but I know that when you have recurring clients that are coming in every week or every 2 weeks, and the Luana and anybody who's taken appointments works to try to get the same advocate to work with them each week, because it is about building those relationships, because the closer you become with that client, the more open they are going to be to you, not just speaking support into their life, but to speaking Christ into their life and saying, look, you guys are trying to make some of these decisions together, and that's great. Let's pray about it. Let me pray about it with you. Let me show you how to pray about it and how to look for how God's going to move and open those doors for this to happen, whether it's housing or how we're going to afford this, or when you're talking about child care or even picking a pediatrician or doctor, all these different things, they've come to see that advocate as part of their support system, and they'll come and even ask questions to them, and it really goes back to just building those authentic relationships so that you're not just meeting that physical need, but they become more open to really building that and meeting those spiritual needs.
Were you about to say something, Dave?
Go ahead.
I was wanting, kind of going a little bit different direction. We talked about the services, and we are a resource center to help like that. How do you incorporate the gospel? Because I know first and foremost with the vision of this center, because we've all been in meetings about that's the central focus is, promoting Jesus Christ as Savior and Lord. So if somebody comes in that's abortion minded or needs parenting help or is pregnant, just look, hey, I want to have this child. How do y'all go about incorporating the gospel, sharing, Jesus with those that come in?
Right. Our mission, and I'm going to just read it here, just so that everyone will know. Our mission is to encourage, enrich, and evangelize men and women from all backgrounds by offering hope and help in Christ's name to those who have been infected by the impact of unexpected pregnancy itself, and the devastating effects of post-abortion. So we provide those services to them, and what we do with sharing the gospel, yes, that's first and foremost. We love Jesus, and we show this by carrying out the great mandate the mandate that Christ told us in Matthew 28 to go and therefore make disciples of all nations. And what we do is we have them come in. We have an intake process. Now, because we are governed by certain laws and regulations, we have to be very careful how we approach sharing the gospel. But there's different ways. Many times people come in hurting. And when we address that hurt or need, a lot of times they're open. We ask them, well, can I pray with you? Well, praying with them, really, it opens the door for us to be able to share the gospel with them. Now, how we do it, we use, there's different ways that we do it, but all of our advocates are trained with the sharing Jesus without fear.
Feel faith.
Yes, that's what we're all trained to do, use that. However, we have some variations. A lot of times, just for me personally, it's just sharing my personal testimony. Gotcha. And then walking them through scripture. We do that with the permission of the patient. We ask them if it's okay if we can do that. Every now and then we'll get someone that says they don't want to hear anything that we have to say. Or they'll, recently we've had, some that don't believe in anything at all. Well, they do believe in something, but they don't believe
they don't
in
know that.
Right, but so I mean, but we when the door opens, we take that opportunity and we share. I don't know if I'm answering your question or not, but that's how we incorporate. We actually, the intake process, that is part of the intake process. For us to go over just to see where they are, what the needs are, and then we share Jesus with them.
Well, even with those that might say they don't want to hear nothing about it, but over time,
yes,
and we
them
tell
finding out you care and you love, that can open up a whole.
Yes.
And we tell them that their decision to not allow us to share the gospel in no way changes or affects the services that we will provide for them, that we are a Christian-based facility and center, but that's their right to choose, and that it doesn't change. We're not going to kick them out of the door just because they say they don't want to hear it right now. We continue to just love on that client as we would any other person.
And that shows such the heart that Jesus had. Because, then I mean, it's easy to love those who think like you and who love like you,
Right.
and it's difficult to love on people who aren't so easy to love, and they know that when they say that. So when you're
Right.
able to still bestow love and
Yes.
generosity on them
Yes.
and into their life,
Right.
that's such fertile ground for
speaks
that to
volumes,
follow.
right? And it
Right.
speaks volumes
Right.
to the client because they're immediately thinking that if they tell us no, and it takes boldness for them to be able to tell the advocate no, because they know that, if they ask the question, then they want to share the gospel with them, and so they know they're going against that. But if that's, for them to still receive the same kind of love and care from the advocate, even when they say no, it does speak volumes with the client to know that, these people are going to love me for who I am and where I am right now in life. And, and we immediately, if we know that there's an advocate back with a client who's abortion minded or who's indifferent, or we're just not real sure, because you can really pick up on the vibes when clients come in, if you're seeing them face to face. We immediately go to praying over that room and what's taking place back there. And it's a beautiful thing to see the Holy Spirit move in the center when clients are coming in there.
I've been in school just talking about, loving on those who might say, no, I don't want to hear it. Of all the things I've learned throughout Bible college and seminary is what one of my professors told me at Bruton Parker, and he said, and we know correct doctrine is vital. Theology, the truth is the truth, Jesus. But he said, I'm going to tell y'all something. Then people in your congregation or people in general, they're not going to care what you have to say until they know you care about them. And that's what y'all are doing there. And he said, it don't matter how much you preach, if you care about them people, that's when it's really going to start taking roots in their life.
And probably that person that tells you no has run across some either sincere Christian or person that didn't know how to share the gospel and has beat them over the head and wounded them.
Right.
And they don't want to go back to that place.
They've had some type of
Yeah.
experience
That
with
was
either
negative.
church or Christian that has not been a positive experience in some way, and they know just right. Their immediate defense is, I don't want any part of that.
That's right.
And so it's all about reshaping that mindset. The same thing with the family. It's all about using the gospel to change the mindset of a community, of a society. And I think that the center is just the perfect plug in our community. And I think just from what we've seen, just in how many years have we been in? Has you all been in Sylvester?
2016.
Wow. Golly, has it been that long?
I know.
So I remember like when the
we were
pastors
trying-
were all just getting together for the very first time
Yeah.
to say, hey, we're going to get a center here in Sylvester. I feel like just the impact that the center has had in our little community has been so positive and so good.
Where are we? What direction are we going? Are we seeing an increase in folks coming for help, or is it decreasing, or where? And
There
then
is
not just us, then generally in
Yeah,
population.
there is an ebb and flow with the pregnancy resource centers. I know you have certain times of the year where you see a big increase of patients, and then it kind of wanes down, and then it picks back up again. And so that has been happening in all of our centers. Now, one of the centers has always seen more in volume just because the location, there's more people in that area. But the one thing that we have seen more of is the abortion minded, which actually I'm grateful for because they're coming to us.
That's right.
And I mean, it's hard, it's hard to have certain discussions, and it's just hard because it goes against, what you believe and what have you. But at the same time, I'm grateful that we can love and we can just be the hands and feet of Christ and just come alongside whoever it is and help them walk through that season. So our numbers are about, they're a little bit lower than they were prior to COVID, and I don't really attribute that to COVID or the ebb and flow. I think it's maybe because of our hours, maybe. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But patients are still coming, so we're still seeing them.
Yep.
Do you have a vision for what you would like to see done in particularly the Worth County Center, or that you would like to see happen in all the centers? Is there something that we could encourage our churches? We always need assistance, but is there
Right.
something that you have a heart for that you see right now we're not where we can be there to do that?
Yeah, my vision, right, for me, this is just personal me.
Right.
I would like to see us fully operational. I mean, even prior to COVID, I really wanted us to be there more hours, more days a week. Well, in order to do that, we need the volunteers to help man those hours. So, moving forward, or looking forward, or dreaming forward, or even praying forward, my vision is to be able to open those Tuesdays and Thursdays that we're there back to the normal hours, and to be able to fully staff those times. And when I say fully staff, I mean with a nurse, with 2 advocates, and with desk coverage. That will fully staff us. So, our churches can come alongside. We have a training coming up in the fall that will be in Cordele this time, but even though it's in not Cordele, Camilla, I'm sorry. Even though it's in Camilla, they're training for all of the centers. So that's like something that the churches can really encourage those to start praying now. Is this something that the Lord is calling you to? Yes, we're grateful for the monetary donations, but we really could use some hands and feet in this ministry. So pray about, is the Lord calling you to give 3 hours a week to this ministry to help? And then, move forward from there. That's what I think that's my vision, that we can open up fully and just be available for, when the patients do come.
That's right.
And I would say too that if you are considering going to be trained, don't let certain things hinder you. Don't think that because you work full time that you can't volunteer, because you can, right?
You can.
I know I haven't been there lately, but you can do it. And that if you want to be a part of this ministry and be hands-on and be involved, there is an area that suits every personality. Not everybody is called to be an advocate, because to be an advocate, you do have to, you've got to be okay with being in some of those not so comfortable positions and moments when you're having those intimate discussions with clients. But to be trained to answer the telephone, that takes a specific training and an understanding of what to say and when to say and how to say it and how to approach certain things. And so, you would think, oh, well, I can just go answer the phone if they need somebody, but that requires very specific training. Like, I was trained as an advocate. I could not go do the desk job. I didn't know exactly what to say or how to say it or how to answer certain questions and things like that. And so every area of ministry in the center is very specific. You're trained to do a very specific task, and everybody is needed.
Yes.
And so I always say, don't think that just because you work or just because you have children or just because you have other things that it doesn't mean that there's not a place there for you.
Or if the alarm goes off in the middle of the night.
You get called to go find out what's happening down there. So,
I remember the last time it went off and I met the police there. Well, let's go on in. They made me go in first. I was like thinking, you're the ones that got that. I'll go
You're
in
the
first.
armed person.
They were walking behind me.
That's funny.
Well, we know that nothing happens by circumstance, and that and the same in our Christian walk. We cannot just assume everything's going to happen because it lines up. It takes work on our part.
Yes.
And so we do want to encourage our churches and our brothers and sisters to come alongside of these community partnerships so that we can be the hands and feet of Jesus.
That's right.
It's real easy to throw platitudes and to throw goodwill, but it requires action.
Yes.
And we've been talking about at our church, we're wrapping up the 10-month study of the book of Daniel. And we said last week, God has a plan.
Yes.
You know, but God has to have us be the action to that plan, and that's what we're trying to learn to grow into. So thank you so much.
We're so thankful
for you
for
coming.
your dedication to the center. Lawana's been such an asset
Absolutely.
to our APC here in Sylvester, and I know your advocates love you, and our community
The
loves you,
churches love you
and
too.
churches love you, and we
Amen. That's
appreciate
right.
all that you do
Right.
for our center here in Sylvester.
and our community appreciates it. I hear talk in our community about what a resource that
You probably
is.
don't hear enough of that, so we need to let you know.
Well, thank you, but I thank you all. I mean, I know that it wouldn't be possible without the support of you all, the sacrifices that you make to ensure that our lights are on, we have air conditioning. Those things are very important. And then too, you help us with getting the supplies for the baby store. I mean, that would not be possible without the
Fill
help.
up your baby bottles.
Right,
right.
without the help of you all and many other churches. So we're very grateful for you all. And then those of you who give up your time to come and help without volunteer. I can't do it all by myself, you know. So I need it. Every part of the body is
Amen.
important.
That's
Right.
what that was
That's
just going through my
exactly right.
mind.
Yes, and I thank you.
Well, thank you for joining us. Thank you for making time,
Oh,
to
yes, a
to come
pleasure.
and share just a little bit with us. Thank you for listening. If you do have a desire to volunteer, keep your ear out. You can contact the Alpha Pregnancy Center. Any of the centers, you can contact Isabella Church, Antioch Church, anybody, Lainey or myself. We can get you more information about the upcoming training in the fall, because we will equip you to do the work of Christ. He never calls us to something He will not equip us to do.
That's right.
So we are looking for men and women to
Men and women, like men and
to
women.
serve families in our community, and this is one area in which you can do that. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Truth Talk, and we'll see you next time.